I grew up rurally in Fountain County and had a grandfather that was a bit of a woods wanderer. So I'd go off on excursions with him, and either he'd come back with stories and so forth. And right around 5th grade, I started taking to the woods pretty regularly. And by the time I was in high school, I just determined that, if there was some way to make a living at, something similar to that, I was certainly up to it. I first became full-time as the interpretive naturalist at Indiana Dunes. And then I had actually wanted the position I'm in for quite some time. And I think it was like a year after I landed at Dunes, this position came open. So I applied for it and held my breath and somehow got it. I'm part field biologist, part administrator. I have a lot of projects at different properties that I kind of conduct. And then I also oversee the division's natural areas program on the state parks, and then also the wildlife program on the reservoirs. Right now we've got this project here, which is what I call the Shakamak Prairie Ecotone Project, where we're essentially trying to make this boundary between the forest and the prairie a little less artificial. We want to create sort of a feathered edge so that much of what it would have been more of a transition, originally. I do quite a bit of shooting sports. I'm a traditional archer, and I love pistol shooting.
Had you ever thought of another career? Could you think of doing anything else?
Yeah, I always wanted to be a radio disc jockey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of all kinds of music, but particularly that late '70s classic rock and that era of the DJ and so forth. I just always, for some reason, that always kind of spoke to me. Yeah, I've got a wife and 2 kids, one 13-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter. It's hard to walk through a forest or a prairie and hear the different insects and the birds, or maybe catch a glimpse of a fox and not wonder how it all fits together. So I think at a young age it has a potential of really developing a broader sense of self and naturally a larger worldview.